myself up if I fall. I will reap what I sow, I will follow my road, and I won't stop till I have it
all. We get asked this question a lot. You know, what is Pathways? What is it that you actually do? And it's extremely broad. It's difficult to answer that question concisely, but I think probably the best way to describe it is that we're joining the dots of school for what comes next for a young person. So we would help a young person prepare for what comes next, whether that be while they're still at school, whether that be setting up for after school, whether it be an 8-hour pathway or a vocational pathway. We're joining the dots of what they do here at school, ready for the workforce in whichever way they may be.
She had an idea that she'd like to go down the path of possibly health or teaching. And so we kind of said to her when she was starting to unravel, perhaps we could try a different path. And that's when we approached the Pathways office here at Shalom. And they've been nothing but fantastic. Thank you.
We pretty much organise the course so that it resembles what goes on in industry. So we want our kids to be able to leave this department here having worked with equipment safely, and also be able to leave knowing how to use that equipment properly.
Especially with the Cert 2 in plumbing, we have to have a strong connection with the schools, because not only have the students got a lot of work to get through in a very short period of time, but they've got vocational placement as well. So that requires them to go out onto the job and obviously get that experience. And to get that organised, we really need all the assistance we can in regards to the schools.
When the students attend college, it does several things for them. Puts them in a totally different environment to the school. Different actions happen during the day. It also teaches them a lot of skills that they can use through their life, hand tools, a lot of things like that. It also opens up the door and gives them a perception what it would be like working in that trade area. Once they've completed that task, it also gives them the opportunity to maybe do placement at different trade areas, and the opportunity to probably earn some money, pocket money.
Work experience is a big part of what we do. Kathy Lang is very motivated in making sure that we have that run smoothly, but that's vital for a young person in making decisions about their future. And I think that young people and parents are getting that message now. Without actually physically experiencing something, we're making guesses. We don't really know the nitty-gritty of what a job is. So being able to be immersed in a workplace, whichever workplace that may be, is vital to actually understanding what choices you make in the future.
I'm Jake Grogan. I'm a second-year electrical apprentice and I work for Scott Burke Electrical. I graduated Shalom in 2018, and in 2018 I also did my school-based apprenticeship with Scott. I was doing 3 days a week at school and 2 days at work, as that's what I was allowed for. And then on holidays I'd work full-time with Scott, and yeah, so it really, you know, I was allowed to do a lot of work in my time in grade 12. So.
I think Brooke as a person has faced many challenges in her life, and so from that side of it, I think she was well prepared. And she has a really massive care factor for animals.
My current job title is Junior Veterinary Nurse. I think that Shalom helped me. The Pathways department helped transitioning me to employment through helping me have the day off school once a week, get hands-on experience in what it's actually like to be like in the workplace, not jumping straight in.
In Brooke's case, she was studying Cert 2 animal handling, which is one of the steps in the process to doing her nursing certificate. So to have them on board in work experience or work placement really gives us an opportunity to see who's going to go through, and it's a long-term plan that 2 years down the track we might have a new employee. So having someone like Brooke over 2 years be here with us, it was a really easy decision at the end of grade 12 to say, hey, how about coming on board with us?
Well, I wanted to try something with animals because they're adorable. Just to learn how to look after them. And the skill sets needed for it was amazing. You don't know what goes on behind the scenes if you never actually do it. It was just amazing. Like all the time that they put in to looking after all those little animals, it's just wow.
We offer the opportunity to basically work alongside a zookeeper. We ask as many questions as they like, get an opportunity to do the work, so do the raking, do the poo picking, doing the food preparation and those sorts of things. And it gives the students an idea of what it's like to work as a zookeeper and whether it's something that they want to pursue later on.
Well, to start off with, it was quite hard finding someone who would take us because there's not many opportunities around here. Otherwise I'd have to travel out to Childers or somewhere. But when we got the call or the email saying that I can go, I was so excited. It was just pretty good.
So Grace came, she was very, very excited to get here, and then when she got here she was very enthusiastic and got in and got the job done, learnt a lot, and then liked it so much that she's now a volunteer. So she's now volunteering on the weekends, and yeah, she's continuing to do that at the moment. So obviously if she did the work experience and really liked it, so yeah, she's continuing on with that. So hopefully that's something she looks at as a future career pathway.
We find that a lot of the students are able to source their own work experience through connections they might have with family and friends or sporting groups. And when students have difficulty finding work experience, we can step in and do that for them as well. I like a challenge, and
yeah, so it's a pathway for them, if they don't want to go to university, this is another pathway. It is also a pathway that you could, down the track, lead to, university if you wanted that pathway in, later in life, because you've got that Cert 3, but then it's obviously a stepping stone for Cert 4, and then any other, certificate courses you might be interested in other areas. It's so easy to run this course with the facilities we got, and then of course that we have access then to industry, so we get opportunities to go to other gyms. We're actually looking at going to like City Fit Gym, go to F45, go to 3BZ, just to give them that industry experience, because in reality Shalom's gym is not what it's like in the real world either, so they get a taste of then what it's like in the real world.
We also engaging with industry experts as well, so they're coming in and looking after the kids, and there's students that might not have the career path set out. It gives them a touch on base of what it's actually like in that industry, and they might jump on board and think this is fantastic, I'll go down this route. But not only are they getting the experience of being in the industry, but it also gives the employers an opportunity to look at the students working in their position, and more often than not they get job offers, and whether it be part-time or for down the track as well.
So we've got that flexibility now with our TAFE Connect program, where students can actually do their theory when it suits them. So we still run through it in the course, but if there's ever an issue where a student was unable to attend during that time, then they can attend that or do that at the school through the TAFE Connect program.
Generally, I'm treated like just one of the boys. It doesn't really matter to me. Being a female doesn't make any complications for me. I push through it. It's just everyday work life. I've worked in other fields in the area, like cafes, where it is a female-dominated area, and it's no different.
It's been different to have a girl with us, but yeah, no, it's worked out quite well with her. She likes learning, and there's always different tricks in the trade that you got to learn, being in this business.
So having Jet 2 days a week gave him the ability to complete Year 12, and also gave us the ability to sort of bring in another staff member into the workforce as in a part-time arrangement.
It was a challenge at the start. Like it was hard to pick up on stuff that you were sort of away for, but you had adequate study lessons and everything like that to pick up on on your slack more than anything.
East Coast Apprenticeships and us at the Bundaberg branch are big believers in work experience. It's a really good opportunity for the students to taste what the industry's like, and it's a good chance for the employers to check them out as well. It's the first thing we look at when a student comes in and applies for one of our apprenticeships. The first thing we look at is what certificates they've been doing at school or at TAFE, and what work experience that they've been doing. That gives us a good guide to maybe where they should be heading.
So I'm Maddie and I work as the marketing assistant at CQ University on the Bundaberg campus. One of my main responsibilities at CQU is to maintain the relationships with the high schools across the region. Going out to the high schools and working with the staff and the students to make sure that they're getting the most accurate information about post-school options, so when it does come to that time for them to make those decisions, they are making the most informed decisions that are right for them at the time.
Those skills that you used in the SUN program, because you were saying that they were different to
yes.
the formatting and the presentation and things like that were different to what you'd done in high school. So do you feel that also helped prepare you for once you were here at uni?
Oh yeah, for sure. And especially at the end of my high school, in term 4, I found that some of those uni qualities I brought over, and I was able to add it to English and stuff, and now I can use that now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
I just learned so much confidence in myself. I felt like it just really was a nice introduction into what was expected in university.
Perfect.
I had to do speeches and different assignments, but it was all at a gradual pace that I think was manageable for my lifestyle.
Absolutely.
Talia not only did casual jobs, but she come here knowing the expectations of an employer and what she had to do. She was very attentive in what she was learning and had an interest, which was great and made the process so much easier.
Well, I became an apprentice here at CQ Building Supplies in Year 11. And Shalom gave me the opportunity, because they obviously offered the role and whatnot, and gave me all the resources and everything I needed for my years here at CQ.
So at the time of Talia first starting her traineeship, we were actually growing and expanding, which was a really good time for her to come in. We needed someone, and she was learning new.
So Mum and I, I always knew I wanted to do nursing. Mum and I had a look into some of the TAFE courses. An email was sent out about TAFE for around Shalom and school base and things like that, and then we looked into it, and then I got accepted, and there was only 4 of us in our class, but it was really one-on. So my placement was at the new Bundaberg Private Hospital. We just started off with cataracts and scopes and things like that, just small little bits and pieces, and then as the hospital developed more, they needed more assistance, and then it turned into me getting my cert from TAFE and getting a job as an assistant nurse. Got a lot of physical experience, even with some of the nurses I've been working with, they said this is an amazing opportunity. I've had so much, I'll know for the books and things like that, I'll know how to do it properly in the workforce. And it's going to help me with my nursing course at university, because I'll already know half the stuff that I'm going to do there.
So we've got a relationship with Blue Dog Training, and they assist us with all our theory work, and they're the RTO for our school. They're the main monitors they give the students the certificate at the end of the day. We deliver most of the practical work gets delivered through our school here, through all the facilities. Blue Dog provide all the theory and also the support. At the end of the day, they end up, they're the registered training organisation that deliver the certificate for the students. When our students arrive to our subject, they're a little bit inexperienced, of course. They've had some experience with the MIG welders. With a lot of big machinery that's in here, they haven't had much of an opportunity to use. So we're developing the course so in year 9 and 10 they have exposure to equipment such as MIG welders, lathes, and so when they come into here, they have a bit of an idea on how to use those, and we just virtually extend and broaden their knowledge and experience to make some bigger projects.
I definitely think that having one day off a week to come and see what it was like, I already knew the people I was going to be working with. It wasn't a new environment. I had already been here. I knew what to expect. I knew the expectations of me. I knew what I was in for.
Don't be afraid to take the pathways that are available for you. You don't have to be incredible at all those subjects at school to get where you want to go. There's so many options for you out there.
For any students probably that are not sure like what they want to do after school and they think maybe uni is not for them, I'd recommend probably just coming to see the pathways and see what they enjoy doing, and if there's an apprenticeship or something that they can just try out to see if they enjoy it, I think would be really helpful.
I definitely recommend the SUM program. Like, if you aren't enjoying a certain subject or you want to have a head start in your uni, definitely take it on board, because it's way easier. That's what I found, and it'll help you so much when you actually go into uni if that's what you want to do.
Don't be scared, because it's awesome.
I was unsure. I was like, oh, I don't know about the workload, but I just did it, and I'm so happy now. Like, I have so much fun, and you meet so many people. Like, a lot of the nurses I'm friends with now, they're older, but I have so much fun with them because we're all doing the same things, and yeah, it's really good.
Honestly, if you're thinking about it, I would go for it, because it would be a missed opportunity if you didn't try your hardest if given the opportunity.
I would tell them to be positive, to do it with a smile, and just to ask lots of questions, because who knows, it could be your job one day if you enjoyed it that much.
Whatever may happen down the track, I'm very excited to see where she's going to go, and I truly believe, I thank the Pathways people, both Kathy and yourself, Lisa, for making that process so much easier, because we wouldn't have known where to look or where to go, and it was put to us, it was out in front of us, it was easy to do. It is always so supportive, there's someone to talk to. Having to do that yourself, or maybe even having to do that a year later out of school, we didn't have that support, and having that has made it so much easier, and the stepping stone to wherever she goes next will be fantastic.
If you're in a school-based apprenticeship, if you're lucky enough to be in a school-based apprenticeship, that would mean that you actually are starting your trade before you even leave school. You can, for every 12 months engaged in a school-based apprenticeship, you're knocking 6 months off your post-graduation apprenticeship. So you will roll into a full-time or permanent part-time apprenticeship on completion of school, and you're knocking time off while you're still at school. So you would go 1 day a week, or thereabouts, to your workplace, and you'd be physically immersed in that workplace while you're still at school. It's a wonderful training opportunity. School-based traineeships work on a similar format. They're usually about a year long, and that gives you an opportunity to gain a workplace qualification while you're still at school, which hopefully will give you the advantage once you have left school. So both of them immersed in the workplace. It's learning whilst in the workplace. Fantastic opportunities.